What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and today, man, we're gonna be watching this breakdown from the new episode of Demon Slayer from Plot Armor. You know what I'm saying? This man right here, I love watching his videos, man. The way he breaks down everything, the way he just talks about the episode, it's just it's so good. You know what I'm saying? It is so good, and I like the fact that he talks about the manga compared to the anime and all of that stuff. Like, this man, if you want to watch breakdowns, this is the guy to go to. Simple. I ain't even gonna lie. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for everything, man. Thank y'all so much for all the support I've been getting, bro. The channel's been going crazy, and it's all thanks to you guys. Y'all been doing some amazing stuff for the channel, and I just can't appreciate y'all enough. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are fucking amazing. And don't forget that if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, make sure to hit that sub button, hit those likes, and turn on noti bells so y'all can get notified whenever I drop a video, man. But I ain't even gonna lie, bro. We got a pretty long video. 15 minutes? That's tough. But we here for it. Plot Armor, let's see what you got, man. This man is a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm back. And I'm better. And we uploading or streaming every day. Simple. Grind is real, man. Let's get it.
Alright, so yet again with episode 8 of its Entertainment District arc,
Yeah?
Demon Slayer proved itself incapable of missing. This was yet another fantastic, incredible, sensational episode. Now we began this one with an immediate change to the manga source contents, as Nezuko being tucked in by Tanjiro is a far softer display. With the anime, we received a couple of clips from the previous episode to remind us what exactly happened here. I didn't think that was all too necessary, but it wasn't a hindrance at all, so it was fine. Tanjiro here smiles at his sister, and we were especially reminded of how wounded he actually is because we get to see that massive gash in his shoulder. The very wound he received when Daki first went on.
Bro, I hella forgot about that injury that he suffered from Daki's slash, bro. Like, that shit is deep as fuck. And this man Tanjiro is still standing. Like, he should be on the ground right now. He shouldn't even be able to do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Her rampage, destroying bits of the Entertainment District.
Is crazy,
a wound that actually wasn't really highlighted by the manga much at all, but here with the anime, it stresses the bodily predicament Tanjiro is currently in, which only manages to raise the stakes even further. From there, we receive some banter between Gyutaro and Tengen, and really and truly, if you are not in love with this man Tengen after this, then I don't know what to tell you. He is just a magnificent character. I mean, for as flashy as he may be, this is still a very humble man, a man who is able to recognize that there are those who are simply of a higher caliber than himself. He reveres Gyomei Himejima, the Stone Hashira, to be a complete enigma, a mystery of a man. And then there is the youngest Hashira, Muichiro Tokito, the Mist Hashira, who unbelievably managed to become a pillar of the Demon Slayers in only 2 months of wielding the sword.
That's crazy.
And Tengen felt that compared to them, he just wasn't so great, so this talk of him being a chosen talent was nonsense. I mean, the very prospect of such a thing was enough to infuriate him, as he would recognize the sheer number of lives that had been lost despite his involvement over the years, what ultimately resulted in him comparing himself to the ever-passionate Rengoku. And that's because despite losing his life, Rengoku did not let anyone die on his watch. Meanwhile, although we haven't really seen Tengen on any previous missions, we are able to recognize that with this Entertainment District arc alone, he has lost many lives. Many people have been slaughtered and killed while he has been in town. And a part of me really wishes that our younger Demon Slayers could have been present for this to hear this humbling display. And that's because in the past they were beating themselves up over not being like Rengoku, that they were just far too weak to do so, and yet we have a Hashira here of such—
See. Now, I like how this guy pays attention to everything. That is very, very true, bro. They were beating themselves up because they couldn't save anyone. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't save this and that. But look at Tengen. He recognizes everything, bro. He recognizes this, and that's why he's like, bro, I can't be like Rengoku. Like, it's not possible. You know?
Incredible esteem and power. Who also feels the very same way, but despite this is able to persevere and fight on. And it would furthermore be revealed that Gyutaro's sickles are in fact laced with a deadly poison, which only makes this whole situation and predicament that much more hazardous. Now, I will admit, there was something that I was really looking forward to receiving with the anime iteration here, and that was Tengen's family. I wanted to see what all of his siblings looked like. We only really received the most vague of shapes with the manga, and that happened to be the very same in the anime, so I was a little bit disappointed in that way.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I was overly disappointed because, I mean, that would be going above and beyond, as you'd have to give each and every one of them a proper character design that wouldn't be utilized again in the future. So yeah, I was really just holding my breath on that one. However, we did in fact receive a proper look at his younger brother, who was quite different. In the manga, we only just got to see like a close-up of his face, but here we got to see really all we needed to of him, and he, if you're a Naruto fan, he looks like Shisui. I can't lie, this guy completely looks like Shisui. But speaking of looks,
that reminded me of it with
this scene with Master Ubuyashiki was beautiful. It looked so incredible. From the fall of the sakura petals, the ever-blowing wind, the less kept together styling of Tengen's hair, and of course the master himself.
Badass, bro.
Here we actually managed to see the Master Ubuyashiki before the illness took over his face. And here,
I do have to say, man, I did not even notice that Tengen's like that the poison that was in Tengen was visible on the outside of his skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even notice until later. I was like, wait, his skin is turning purple. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy.
He is gorgeous. Like, straight up, he is dazzling. I mean, there is just such an unquestionable kindness to his words that are even able to touch the heart of such a shinobi like Tengen. And I am certain that what he says here can apply to the lives of many people. It is a very difficult thing going against the grain. It is difficult to go against what you had been taught as a child, your fundamentals. To flip the script and reinvent yourself is definitely quite the undertaking, but to do so is a magnificent thing indeed. And so the sacrifice and willingness to engage on this path despite knowing the adversities to come was something that the master was grateful for. However, Tengen too was incredibly grateful to the master as he had provided his life worth and merit. The reasoning behind him risking his life was something grander than himself, and
that's facts. Bro, the animation on this episode is fucking crazy, bro. Like, it's so
that was enough to keep him going. But at this point, Yutaro would notice it. Tengen's breathing was becoming heavier and heavier. He was having a difficult time because the poison was finally circulating through his system and having an impact on him. He certainly possesses a resistance to poisons considering his shinobi past, but even still, he was beginning to feel it for sure. And Yutaro was loving it. Oh my goodness, this guy just looks so sinister as he was laughing.
His voice actor,
oh my goodness, when these three went at it, I could not ask for a better depiction. In the manga, of course, this was quite the series of events that went from page to page, action, action, action. But here with the anime, it just flows in such an incredible way to where the capabilities, the threshold of power for each of these individuals is on full display. The anime here especially did a great job when it came to displaying the difference between Gyutaro and his sister Daki when it comes to evading Tengen's explosives. In the manga, unless you were looking especially carefully, you wouldn't even pick up on this. But in the anime, it was all too clear. And yet again, Tengen managed to cut off Daki's head. And truly, Tengen, for as much as he may compare himself to others, considering himself to be inferior to them, this is undoubtedly a very, very powerful combatant. I mean, he is able to decapitate Daki with ease without even thinking about it. Yet Tanjiro and the others are nowhere near being able to do so easily. And then you have Gyutaro, who is even above that. And you know, I said it with the last episode, but I have to say it again. The performance of these demon siblings vocally is straight up brilliant. They both do such an incredible job, and truly, although we are still at the very beginning of the year, I imagine that this is going to go down as my favorite anime performance in terms of vocals for 2022. I am in love. And although Tengen was struggling to take down Gyutaro by his lonesome, he would not be by himself for too much longer, as our younger Demon Slayers would now make their flashy entrances. Which just means that we are now entering the final stages of this conflict. All of our players are present and it is time to go all out. When it came to the evacuation of the district with the anime, we actually received a few scenes that were not present in the manga, which showed how some of the civilians previously impacted by this conflict have been holding up. The anime also included Tengen congratulating the younger Demon Slayers on their flashy entrances, which the manga did not, but this was certainly something that made sense for the character. And man, this scene of Tengen talking about how incredible his subordinates are has always been one of my favorites and was done incredibly by the anime. You could really feel the passion coming from this man. And so, of course,
I will never be a manga reader, bro. Absolutely never. Hell no. It literally ruins the whole thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't hate manga readers. Come on, like, okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But what's the point in fucking watching it if you already read this shit? You know what I'm saying? You already know what's gonna happen. It's done. Like you don't even have to watch it anymore, bro. Like it's you'll just watch it for the animation at that point. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't
Eagerness
know,
was enough to trigger the recollection of Kyojuro Rengoku for Tanjiro. But good lord, to know that Gyutaro himself had eaten 15 Hashira and his sister had eaten
crazy.
7 is just mind-boggling. These two are very powerful. I know that Daki is just getting thrown around and just treated like a child by Tengen, but even still, she is very powerful. You cannot be fooled by the sound Hashira here. He is just really strong as well. A combined 22 Hashiras is a whole lot. And remember, this is only Upper Moon 6. And man, the anime really did Zenitsu justice here. Let me just say that the manga did nothing of the sort. It was kind of just whatever. But here, oh my goodness, this was just dazzling. And I can completely understand why anyone's favorite character would be Zenitsu considering the anime, because he is way too cool when he is wielding his sword. When he is using thunder breathing, he is a different character entirely, and it is astonishing. Speaking of which, at the time of this recording, we are currently closing in on 1 million views on our Zenitsu explained video. So thank you all so much for checking that out. And if you haven't already, you should definitely do so. It is a great one indeed. But yeah, Zenitsu was asleep, but still about that action. And here in the anime, they actually give him like this sleeping snot bubble thing or whatever that's typical in anime. But in the manga, there was no such thing. And it's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of a split. It's cooler looking in the manga for him not to have it, but also it's kind of like charming, a little funny that he does have it. I'm not sure. I guess maybe if he didn't have it, he would look a little too badass for a guy who was fighting asleep. But I mean, fighting asleep is already so badass by itself. So again, I am conflicted. And man, I already said that I love the voices of these two sibling demons. And guess what Studio Ufotable decided to do for me? They decided to combine these voices together into one. I did not expect this at all, but they definitely made this third eye of DAKI'S a whole lot cooler. Although it was already so cool. I love third eyes in anime for sure. I mean, if you check out the Magi series, that is one of the coolest things ever. But man, this studio continues to do the damn thing. So now Daki, who was already challenging enough for everyone except for Tengen, is even more capable. That is scary. And you really have to recognize how much of an improvement this is, because Gyutaro was a lot more astute. He is a lot more clever and observant than his sister. His sister is a lot more reckless and kind of just throws her weight around. Gyutaro is an actual fighter. And so for her to now possess a level of acuity on par with his own is something really special. Now Tanjiro was the one to stick around with Tengen here, but he was not ready to hang because Gyutaro is no joke. This man went for his neck immediately and nearly pierced him through the jaw. But thankfully Tengen was there to save him, and these two just immediately went at it from there. These two were really going at it, and Gyutaro over here was playing this game like it was Call of Duty, calling in his kill streak as the obi of his sister just started raining down. These two being on the very same combative wavelength is a dangerous thing indeed. But yeah, even Gyutaro was able to recognize that Tanjiro was not about that action. He was not ready for prime time and was not able to properly coordinate himself with the Hashira Tengen. The battle on the rooftop was incredible. It looked so great. The battle in the interior was incredible as well. The animation here, the choreography is just on a different level, people. And this is a studio that uses CG. This is a studio that uses 3D graphics, and they are not obstructive at all. They only enhance the final product, which is precisely how I personally feel the technology should be used in the medium. And again, I just cannot stop singing the praises of this studio. They have done such an incredible job, and I hope that plenty other series are able to follow in their footsteps in this way. Now Tanjiro, despite not being on the same level here, is actually able to provide a bit of coverage by way of his water breathing. So we are not able to see sun breathing make a return. He isn't really ready to use that power. It is too demanding on his body, but water breathing is a very defensive form. It is a very simple form at that, and so he is able to be of use for sure. And from there, we get to see the fifth form of sound breathing, string performance, and it is just dazzling. I cannot stop saying it. This stuff is just so good to look at. This is my favorite arc of Demon Slayer, and they are not disappointing in the slightest. In terms of action, these last few episodes have been the best the series has ever seen, and that is saying something. Our various Demon Slayers were definitely struggling here, but at the very same time, doing their absolute best. However, considering the night would be able to last for a lot longer, they were in quite the predicament considering this poison element as well. They were barely even provided a moment to catch their breath. However, that's when Tengen's wife Hinatsuru, the one who had ingested the poison, would come for the smoke, pulling up with a ton of kunai and launch them at the enemy, specifically Gyutaro. Now at first, Gyutaro, being a demon as he is, would underestimate the lethality of these kunai. However, he would come to recognize that there was a high likelihood that there was something more to this attack than meets the eye. Which makes a whole lot of sense because that was the case with the explosives of Tengen's as well, as they were especially effective on demons. And so he would defend against it. However, despite this, Tengen would continue his onslaught, his rush. He did not mind the kunai at all.
Can we talk about fucking Tengen not giving two shits about the kunai, bro? He went right in, bro. He didn't care if he got hit, nothing. He was just like, fuck you, dude. I'm going after this motherfucker. He's dead.
Well, they were able to pierce into his form all over. I mean, one only just barely missed his eye. This served to display the shinobi past of Tengen, but also his unreal determination to win here. And so in his refusal of missing this opportunity, he was able to cut off Gyutaro's legs, which hindered his mobility and allowed for this kunai, which was laced with wisteria extract, to pierce his neck. At which point he began to go numb and his legs would not regenerate. And so with that, I can comfortably say that if this kunai were to pierce a lesser demon, oh my goodness, they would be done for. And at this point, Tanjiro was the one to go for Gyutaro's neck,
that's where it ends,
which
bro.
absolutely thrilled and delighted the demon, as this showed that Tanjiro was able to get into sync with Tengen in such a short period of time. It was miraculous, and for such a fighter was incredibly thrilling. That being said, despite this precarious situation, Gyutaro looked to be very comfortable, and so I'm sure you can imagine that things are far from over. The after credits short for this episode was a bit touching, as Tengen was able to speak to the spirit of Rengoku. A kind exchange where, despite Tengen being down on himself for not being able to do the things that Rengoku was able to, Rengoku would be able to return the favor by saying that he simply cannot do things that Tengen is able to do as well, especially commending his swordplay. This episode was amazing, and really and truly you guys are as well. I mean, I am not ashamed to say that I was crying when I was reading some of the comments you guys left us with the previous episode breakdown, considering the circumstances of my personal life currently. It truly means a lot to me, and just go to show.
Yeah, man, this guy, bro, plot armor, actually insane. I saw that. I heard that he was going through personal stuff, and yet he still dropped the videos, bro. That's respect, bro. That's just massive respect. Like, sheesh, man. This guy's crazy, bro. This guy's amazing. Shout out to Plot Armor, man.
How powerful the Plot Army really is. And if you haven't already, this is your opportunity to join up by subscribing to Plot Armor with notifications on. Because when it comes to bringing you some of the best Demon Slayer content on the platform, Plot Armor has you covered. As always, I'm Slice of Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching, and have an awesome day. I love you.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Come on now. Y'all can't tell me that wasn't a fire breakdown, bro. I love y'all so damn much, man. Thank y'all so much for watching this breakdown with me. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank y'all so much for everything, man. The KZ fam is growing day by day. Y'all are making the days better, man. And none of this would be possible without y'all. And y'all already know, man, that this means so damn much to me. I love y'all so damn much. And we gonna keep this shit going, you know what I'm saying? I'm not stopping the grind. And it's that simple. But if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, make sure to hit that sub button, hit those likes, and turn on noti bells so y'all can get notified whenever I drop a video, man. KZ fam, stay positive, stay healthy, and keep that strong mentality, man. I'm out.
Yeah, I said I feel invincible. It's 100 niggas in the spot. I won't keep going. It's 85 just to walk on.